Okay, so apologies, I didn't film this because I just wanted to get it done. It would have taken 3 times longer, but these things are on there. The catch here slightly was this one here, tight. This one, a little like that. So I have to adjust the catch here. So when I grab it here, that's what you'll hear is that noise, but it's not flexing here. It's just that we're racking everything. So we're pretty good. I've got washers in here. I found the proper shoulder bolts. They're all Allen heads. I'll pop the camera off there and show you what I ended up doing. I have to put one more nut on the bottom of this one. The bottom shoulder bolts I have are longer than they need to be. I put a nut on them just for the heck of it, you know, keep them in place. This one's perfect. So, show you what I did here. Keep in mind, I just eyeballed this. I gave this a slight down angle. You can barely notice it, but that's because the rear of the van is higher. So when it settles, it'll be more level. I ended up putting these in. Now this is all going to come off again, so I could paint them. I'm just not going to do it now. But the idea is I kind of lined it up about 1/8 of an inch back behind this rib here on the bend. Did the same thing on the other side. I'll have to trim this back. You know, this little shim that Dave made. I've got rubber between the shim and the wall of the van. And then this, I suppose if we wanted to like do it. I guess that's okay. This could have been leveled or pitched down towards the bracket. You know, if I talk to Dave about that, we could even make it so it is taller here, pitches down and rests on top of this, but I don't want to get super crazy. Again, shoulder bolt here. Stacked washers for now. Like I told you, this is going to be brass. I will drill a hole here or around here somewhere if I want to hang a hammock or something else up against a tree. This is pretty good, you know, rock solid. I'm going to try to fit this tire. I don't think these bolts are going to line up because it was set up for a different pattern. But you can see I could pull this off and set that up now. And I've got the box. I like to put all that on, but if I do that, I got to move the plate. So I'll probably just pop a couple holes in the bumper, I suppose, which can always be filled. I don't know. And I don't have a light on it, so that's technically not legal, but we'll see if I can get away with it. Nighttime is the big thing. You can see how this thing moves. It's, you know, again, rock solid. I don't know how good I got that. I'll walk over to the other side here and see if that looks about even, because I didn't really even care. I just put it on. Let's check that real quick. Yeah, it looks to me like it's pretty close. This side could be a hair lower. I don't know. It's not going to matter. Again, you can never see them both at the same time. Now on the inside, I intended on putting this plywood here. Turns out the bolts I had weren't long enough, so I've got 2 washers, you know, a large one, a small one. They're both, the holes are only just big enough for the bolts to get through. I feel pretty good about it. I would prefer to have this and then washers, but you could see what would happen. It would protrude in past this panel. I think I got lock washers behind those nuts, so I feel pretty good about that. Feel pretty good about that. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can mount the tire back here and see about the box. And then I'm feeling a lot better than I was yesterday. So I texted Sarah. She's expecting me. I'm going to head out tomorrow morning. That's the plan, Stan. That is the plan, Stan. So I guess I just put some finish on this table. This is the second coat. Maybe I'll put another coat on it before I leave if it's dry enough. And I'll have 3 coats on it. And then I could always swing by here early in the morning and pick this up. Sarah says all the YouTubing people are going to be in one spot out there in the lot. They forgot about me. Little old me. But she says they think there's enough room for me. So maybe I'll have some watches or something. You know, I get $500 for one of my cuff watches, because it comes with a watch. And I mean, I doubt anybody's going to bring that kind of money with them, but I think I'll go ahead and bring a couple for you. I love it. I love it. Sorry, nerding out. Watch nerd now. I'm just into cool stuff, man. What can I tell you? So, and I'll throw some stuff in the truck. But if you guys know of anything I have that you've seen that you think I might want to get rid of, just ask me. You literally have until tomorrow morning. Last minute. So, anyhow. Should be a fun weekend. I'll show you some more of this in a minute. Or for you, it'll be a second. Alright, so my buddy Chad, who's a metal guy, and he does bicycle frames and everything, he was telling me he thinks the inside of this, these are full welded on the other side. He thinks we should put plates here, weld a plate in, possibly bolt it, because he's thinking that this stuff's going to crack. He says it's just going to keep cracking, and actually, maybe it's not cracked there. It is cracked here. I busted that pounding on this. So what do you guys think about that? You let me know what you think about that. And sadly, I don't have, I know, this wide angle. I don't have lug nuts for these. So even if I got the tire out, I can't mount it. So I guess what I'm going to do is not do it. I'll wait until after, you know, in a couple weeks. I'll do this over the course of the next couple weeks. The main thing was, I didn't even want to drive this thing with these not attached to the body because of this bouncing around. And now this is rock solid. I could take this off road. I do whatever I want with it, and it's not going to go anywhere. So that's all I really cared about. That's all I really cared about. So I got a tarp here. It's kind of like lined with plastic. It's canvas. This is good as a ground cover if you got to do some work on the van, or throw that in here. We tossed a little bit of recovery gear I have in here. I got a couple shackles and whatnot, just for the hell of it. And put it back together, and I'm going to clean out the van. I'm going to get a lot of stuff out of here right now. Clean up the shop a little bit. Go home, gear up, you know, find some stuff that maybe I can bring with me, and set this thing up so tomorrow I can put that table in here and hit the road, Jack. So I hope you enjoy this. It's a short one. So when I say it's the end this time, and I say it was thanks for being here and be a good person and do something nice for somebody and all that other good stuff, it's officially the end of the video now. Yep, I don't have anything else to talk about. So let's keep this one short. You guys were curious. I'll insert some snapshots of these, and then let me close this up real quick. And maybe I'll pull the van forward. That's good. And then we can get a good shot of what this looks like for you with a little bit of distance. So hang on. Get a little bit of distance behind the camera here so we get a straight shot with these brackets in place. Well, I really wish I had the tire and the box on here. The sun's a little hot here. So Dave made this little shim for me. It's an 1/8 here, or excuse me, it's a 1/4 inch here. It's an 1/8 in the front because this is on some kooky angle for some reason. Now, what you can see here, what I noticed on this side, if I push on this, if I push out on this, we get a little pull away right here. See that? Now, unfortunately, now that's just because this is just thin steel here, sheet metal. I don't know that I could do anything about that. I'd have to put a bolt in here, and there's a lot of extra metal in this thing. It's more than double walled. It's really kind of convoluted in there. So we'll see about that. I mean, I just don't have to pull on this, but when the tire is on here, it's going to have a little bit of weight. So, I mean, this way right now, if I'm pulling towards me, no problems at all. The whole van moves if I push down on that. So I'm not really that concerned. And keep in mind, it's going to lock at this point. So it really shouldn't be an issue. My plan is still to silicone this all. But for now, it's just going to stay for this weekend. I'll give you guys as many looks at this. Yeah, it'd probably be better if it was in the shade. Let me get a good shot here. Get a picture. There'll be better pictures on this trip, obviously. But bear with me. Just want you guys to see it. It's interesting to me that, I eyeballed all this. I just eyeballed that. I cut that down there with a grinder to fit it tight to the van, and I pretty much nailed it. I made this whole thing with an angle grinder. So I'll sand it out better and make it all nice and drill a hole. I gotta get this sticker out of there. I'll drill a hole in here, and I will prime and paint this. Who knows? Maybe I'll even have these powder coated. Once I know for sure we're done with this, I might bring this to a place, the bumper itself and all these parts, and have it powder coated. It's just a lot of extra money. I have to rethink this thing here, the idea of possibly putting plates, as I mentioned earlier. Shoot, that isn't fitting right. See that? That's better. Is this painful for you to watch? Anyhow, now these are resting on here. Actually, that's not even touching right now. I had it adjusted pretty well. I guess this has to come down a hair. But I'm assuming once I get the box in, it's going to force it a little, so I'm not going to mess with it right now. So, plate's going to end up going here. When we brought it to the guy, it came with a license plate holder. A license plate light. And we didn't get that back. So I'm going to have to buy one. I know they sell frames with it. And I'm not a wiring guy, but I'm going to have to figure all that out and find the wires for that and run them down. And then I need to get the right sort of lights in here. I'm going to look that up on Amazon, I suppose. Maybe call Luminous. I don't know. I just got to get this measurement. What I'd like is if there's a three-way light there. If it's got the brake light, a blinker, and a reverse light. If that's possible. I don't know, maybe that's wishful thinking, but if all three of them are in there, I think it'll be helpful just for safety. We've got the brake light up there, and I have to test this, make sure all my lights are working. I'm sure that they are. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. You've looked at this long enough, right? You're going to see better shots of it out in the desert here in the next few days. So that's it for now. Thanks for being here. Wait a second. Did I say that and I was going to end it and I didn't end it and I'm still talking? Crap. I did it again.